Hello, I'm Dr. Lane Pederson, and I want to speak with you today a little bit about certification in DBT. Now, when I'm out training people, I very often get questions about certification. Do people need to be certified? What would be the advantages of it? In essence, people really want to know whether it's worth it to go through the process. So to begin with, what I want to share is that certification is probably your best way to demonstrate that you've taken this approach beyond continuing education and you've actually brought it back to your practice and put in the hours using this wonderful theoretical orientation with your clients and, of course, doing skills training. And in addition to that, what certification is going to do is really push you in a really positive way to seek out additional resources, to continue to grow your knowledge in DBT in order to get the certification, and of course, to be recertified every 2 years. And it really shows both the payers and your clients that you're serious about this approach and that you want to do DBT with excellence. Now, when we do think about advantages of certification, one big advantage is when you're applying to be accredited by insurance companies or payers, oftentimes they will ask you on the application whether you have any special certifications. And this is a wonderful place to be able to put this certification if you're in that process of applying with these different payers. In addition, certification really communicates to clients that you've been vetted by a third party, and in essence, they've been able to give you a stamp of approval in terms of your education hours, practice hours, and the other very practical and important requirements that are a part of the DBT certification. And then I also know a great many professionals who take a lot of pride in the idea that they're going to continue to develop their skill sets through certification. So you're going to find that there are a lot of different advantages that exist for both you and for your clientele. It might make a difference in terms of being able to get employment at a certain place or clinic. Might make a difference in terms of building your client base. At the end of the day, certifications are optional, but have tremendous value for both you and your client base. A common question I get is, what professions in mental health can get a certification in DBT? And basically, any profession that's involved in the provision of DBT services, if you have a master's degree or higher, would qualify. So psychiatrists, psychologists, clinical social workers, licensed clinical counselors, licensed alcohol and drug counselors are very common examples, and even psychiatric nurses. So if you have questions about that, feel free to go to Evergreen and look and see whether your profession is accounted for. A lot of people wonder why every 2 years there's a renewal requirement for certification. And really it's there to uphold standards similar to having your license renewed every couple years. We want to make sure with DBT certification that you're staying current in the field of DBT and associated fields like mindfulness practice as an example. And having that renewal is your way of demonstrating to your payers and to your client base that you're not just stagnant in this approach, but you're continuing to grow in it, just like we expect our clients to continue to grow in their lives. Some people have wondered why it's important to read a couple practitioner books in DBT. And the answer is pretty straightforward. We really believe in terms of DBT certification that people have to do some self-directed learning and growth as part of this process. Just like we would ask clients in DBT to do skills training and study outside of the sessions, we want our DBT providers who are certified to show that they have that dedication to also dig deeper on their own. So it really takes you beyond continuing education, which is wonderful, to really doing that self-study that helps to solidify that earlier education and helps you to get new and different perspectives that maybe you wouldn't pick up during a seminar. So meeting those and other requirements are an important part of the process. I'm very passionate about certification in DBT because I believe that the certification process elevates the standards for the profession, and those people who choose certification are showing that they have deep knowledge of DBT, they have the experiential hours, And they have the credibility to be practicing this approach with our clients who really, really benefit from it. And by renewing a certification every couple of years, you're showing that you're dedicated to staying current with the field and continuing to grow in the field. And I think that overall certification has nothing but a very positive effect for practitioners and clients alike. Over the many years that I've trained tens of thousands of therapists in DBT and talked with many, many therapists about their process going through certification, what I've learned is that one of the major things that practitioners get with this certification is the tools and the confidence to address the very difficult problems that otherwise they might not have been equipped to deal with. Very commonly in DBT, we see clients who are suicidal, struggling with urges around self-injury, substance use disorders, other serious problems, and frankly, seeing a lot of clients who have difficulty engaging in therapy, having a lot of therapy interfering behaviors, and clients who have a tough time taking what's offered in the session and actually using it in their lives. And the value of going through this immersive process is therapists come out of the other end really having so many different ways of engaging clients clinically and in terms of skills too. And they have a knowledge base and an experience base to address some of the biggest problems that clients come in and to be able to actually help those clients move forward in life. And there's really nothing more rewarding than that. Having what it takes as a therapist to meet your clients where they're at, where they're struggling, and to free them up to have a much better life. If you're passionate about DBT like I am, then certification is definitely for you. There's something so empowering about being able to really excel at an approach like DBT and to be able to meet your clients where they're at with whatever very difficult problems they're bringing in, whether it happens to be suicidality or self-injury or substance use disorders or any of the many, many behaviors that clients engage in that disrupt their own therapy. Being able to demonstrate your excellence in this approach feeds into your confidence, feeds in obviously into your ability to be able to have the tools and techniques and approach to help clients overcome their problems and live those better lives. And it also distinguishes you in the field of DBT, where you can be seen as someone who has taken the time and the caring to be able to elevate what you're doing for the good of your clients and the DBT community for that matter.